I don't mean to, but I do pull a lot of Cheryl into Barbara.
Yeah.
I do. I don't mean to, but she's so funny.
Yeah.
Like Cheryl on her own is so funny.
Yes.
She enunciates every word, and so we wind up making Barbara enunciate every word.
So funny.
And she'll read the script and go, Quinta, how dare you? And I was like, because that's what you do. We can't help it.
I'm so happy to be here. I was supposed to do a Q&A with you a year ago, and I tested positive for COVID the day of.
He sure did.
Now,
real convenient.
No,
he did.
I sent her the thing.
He did.
Now I just don't test anymore. I just stopped.
Yeah.
Since that day, it's a dangerous thing to do.
Yeah. It's fine, guys. He's tested.
I'm good.
Just kidding.
I'm just here spreading health misinformation. Please do it and mask.
Yes.
It's important.
Yes.
We're all healthy, thank God. Well, speaking of health, you're making the 3rd season right now?
Yeah. Okay.
How do you?
Thank you.
Well, so my personal experience, making a 2nd season was the hardest thing ever.
Absolutely.
Because you're making the 1st season.
Yep.
And they're just like, let's see what happens. Yep. We think she's cool.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll work.
Right.
Then it becomes this insane thing.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, it's like they're harder on you.
Yeah, we talked about this before I even started Abbott. I was asking you how Ramy season 2 was going.
Yeah.
And you told me it's like they're on me more.
Yeah.
When you made the 1st season, you get to make your 1st season like we did with Abbott, kind of in a vacuum. Like nobody in the world knows about it.
Yeah.
And you're making a thing that you think is good, that you're proud of. And I think the network and the studio, they believe in it too, but they'll believe in it when the money believes in it. And then, it comes out and they're all of a sudden like, oh shit, we got something good.
Yeah.
Let's put ourselves in the kitchen and cook with them. Hey, Ramy, we have an idea for your very specific Middle Eastern show. And I felt like for Abbott, while, ABC and WB didn't get handsy like that, I did feel like I got to show the world what I wanted to make with season 1. And I was like, oh, we got to keep it up. Like now I started looking at the 1st season as like a mixtape and the 2nd season as an album.
What mixtape? Yeah, it's like
what mixtape?
Yeah, what does
did
that
it
mean to you?
represent?
Because I think there's obviously a lot of people here who are in awe of what you've done, but also kind of trying to figure out how to approach, the ways we all kind of put our stories together. So it's like the difference between a season 1 and a season 2. And then I kind of want to get into a 3, but this jump between 1 and 2 is really interesting.
1 felt like with every episode, I wanted to show people what kind of show we could be. I wanted people to know you could expect to have these very soft moments. You could also have Tariq rapping about drugs at the top of his lungs in front of a bunch of kids. I wanted you to know you can have moments like Janine and Gregory, but you could also have the absurdity of Ava having a different boyfriend every episode. I wanted to show people that we had a wide world of fun. And then the 2nd season, it was like, okay, now I need to make an album that has a beginning, middle, and end, that takes what people know about me and liked about my mixtape. And now I want to have an intentional like thing they can listen all the way through and feel like they're getting an experience. And to me, that's what the 2nd season started to feel like. And I went to the writer's room and kind of explained that analogy. And then they called me crazy, but then they got it.
And that's not always what a network comedy does.
No.
And so how do you navigate that with are they just down, or is it, something that you kind of figure out how to get through? Because I'm curious, like how much autonomy you have, right? Like when we were making my show on Hulu, it was just like, it's so low budget and it's so kind of a certain way. They'll kind of, they were more in my stuff, but at the end of the day, I feel like the stakes are a bit lower.
Yeah.
But I think, you kind of, I was saying this backstage, but it's, I feel like Quinta kind of hacked network TV, and made something that kind of connects with everybody. It's a very hard thing to do, and it's blasted out. So, when you do those, what I think is probably a more narrative arc second season, maybe that excites them. Are they more happy, you know, or is there some pushback?
No, they were very happy and hands off in a way. And I think because no matter how specific Abbott is, I still have a great understanding of how network TV should work. And I understand that I'm making TV for a wide range of people. While I'm making television for, you know, for Black girls, right? For Black people, I'm also still making it for a white grandma in Kansas. I just am. Like, that is just the honesty of network television. It's a numbers game. It's a money game. And I have that understanding. I think I would be fighting with them a lot more if I didn't understand that. And I was trying to be hyper specific on a platform that does not specialize in hyper specificity. So.
And speaking of like hyper specificity, is there a
is that a word? That sounds crazy.
Oh.
It is? I know I said it first, but it sounded crazy when I said it.
It's yeah.
I'm smart. We're smart.
Right?
We're
that
smart.
No, I heard someone be like, "She reads." Like that was. People feel in the room like you're taking in books.
Yeah.
Regularly.
Wait,
is there a hyper specific, whether storyline, moment, character that you can think of? I'm sure there's many, but that where you know you're kind of threading the needle of, okay, I want my best friends to love this moment.
Yes.
And white grandma in Kansas.
Yes. So in the second season,
because those are my favorite. Where you're like, yo, the group chat's gonna love it.
Exactly.
And grandma.
Exactly. It means a lot to me.
And not your grandma. No, your grandma's not. My grandma doesn't watch. But
no, your grandma. The Christmas episode of the second season, you guys don't know how hard I fought. Maybe that's one time ABC was over me because they were like, girl, let it go. And I was like, I won't let it go.
Is it emails and calls?
No, it's very nice. It's very like, okay. You know, that passive like
exclamation points. We just want it to be the best.
Yeah.
Exclamation.
Oh, they're so over me.
Yeah.
But it was really important to me in this club scene in the Christmas episode that I had DMX's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer playing in the club. And that was really important to me. I also wanted B2K's Jingle All the Way. And these were songs that were not cheap at all to get. But I needed those to play in the club for this Christmas episode. I said, this is what Christmas at Abbott looks like to me. And if I can't have it, I don't think I would want to do these club scenes, which was very dramatic. But when the episode came out, the amount of people that came up to me and were like, I cannot believe you had DMX's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer playing.
Yeah.
It's not even a real song. It's something he did in a studio that we had to go get the recording of and then buy. And that kind of thing means the world to me. We just did a press thing, and one of the guys who was there doing sound, he came up to me and was like, I love the show, but I just want to say one thing. I love that you put in DMX's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And that makes me so happy. But then I think there are some people who watch that episode, they have no idea what that song is.
Yeah.
And they don't care. They're invested in Janine and Gregory and Ava, and that's what they should be taking away from it. Or there's some people who are like, ooh, take me back to the Barbara Melissa Jacobs storyline. And that's the beauty of kind of like building out a show for everyone at the same time that has hyper specifics in it.
Yeah, I mean, it feels that way. And I think something I was curious, you know, when I'm making my show, Jersey is so specific, you know, in terms of not just the characters, but you know, to be in Jersey means to be in the shadow of New York, and there's a very, you know, tough thing about that, and there's an angst that comes with it, and there were certain things that, you know, even when I was making the show, I felt like, yeah, I really want to capture something about that commute. Like, I really want to capture something about that aspirational feeling. I really want to capture something about the people who live in my town that is quite literally 20 minutes from here, and they call it the city, and they haven't been here in 4 years. Right? And so I'm curious, how do you step into, showing where you're from and what was important to you as you kind of build out the Abbott world?
I love that question because Philly also feels like the underdog to New York. And a lot of that energy goes into the show, feeling like the underdogs. The teachers are underdogs.
And Philly probably third place behind Jersey, I would say, right? If we all talked about it, how would we order it here?
Totally.
Just a quick, this Q&A is for everyone here. We all agree with what I said. Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to,
Yeah, for sure.
Bro, we're at the SAG.
Definitely.
Let's start some shit at SAG, bro.
Let's go, SAG. If the SAG voters aren't voting for Jersey, then I'm sorry. They love to vote for the people in the shadows that over at SAG. I think that's really nice about the SAG voters.
As someone with no SAG nominations, I tend to agree.
You didn't?
I've never been SAG'd.
For Ramy?
I never got SAG'd.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's actually shocking too.
Now it's Oh, now it's Yeah.
No.
Oh, now you love me.
Does SAG have a stand-up category yet?
I don't know.
No? Okay. When you get one, please vote for Ramy's special.
That's the kind of political reform I'm looking for these days.
It's Ramy. Okay, so I think that for what was the question again? I've gotten off topic. Oh, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Philly in the. Oh my God! Hey! I have some plants over there. My sister and my niece and my nephew, in case nobody. But no, the Philadelphia is. I hate to be corny and like Sex in the City about it, but to me, it totally is a character in the show. So much is informed by Philadelphian culture that's not even right on the nose in the show. For instance, them going to a hookah bar is a very Philadelphian thing. In that Christmas episode, hookah just took over Philly, like 6 years ago. And so that's where everyone goes. So it was important to me to have a hookah bar / club. The field trips that they go on, going to the Philadelphia Zoo is that's the biggest trip you can go on. You can't wait to go there. The candy sales, that was an episode we did. I guess they do candy sales everywhere, but in Philly, it just means something different. I don't know. It was just this thing in childhood that I love that brought everyone together for a common goal at the school, teachers and kids. So those kind of specific things are really important to me. There's way more. The kids alone, having them be dressed in uniform. That was a huge choice that I didn't even know was a choice. But I remember when the show first came out, a lot of people were like, why are these kids dressed this way? Yeah. And I didn't think it was that strange. Do kids in New York not wear a uniform? They do. Okay. Got it. So Philadelphia public schools, you're in uniform. There's not one where you aren't. And that blue and tan look is kind of the look of a lot of public schools. So people just thought we made an interesting choice that was really fun. But I'm like, but that is how the kids look, or even the details about the school. The school I went to, Harity, was a bomb shelter. And for World War II, they built it so it could double as a bomb shelter, which tells you how old it was. But that's all baked into the culture of the school. The Eagles, like I know they're just a football team, but it's the thing that keeps Philadelphians from killing each other is loving the Eagles. If we didn't have the Eagles, I think we'd all be dead, because I think that team keeps us together. And so that's why they're such a big part of the show, because I don't know what we would do without them.
I mean, all jokes aside, how do you balance? Because I actually remember when we connected too, that we had some mutual friends totally outside of comedy, like Jamira, right? And people who do a lot of, really important work in Philly. How do you balance, the loving side that you want to show through your characters, and then obviously kind of the more serious conversations of what's happening in Philly? How do you approach that as someone who's kind of trying to paint something, that takes place there?
Yeah, well, I always stick to the situational comedy format first. To me, I'm like, what is the situation and what is the comedy around it. That's how we start every episode. I'm trying to say this in a way that is politically correct. They said just don't. I never enter the room going, how can we tackle this issue? It honestly is the farthest thing from my mind. Yeah. What I find is if we focus on something simple, like a rug, or like Gregory getting an award he didn't deserve, we wind up uncovering the messages down the line. And that's what's really fun and special for me about writing the show. And I realized this recently, the show, people want us to address politics and all of that. But my approach is that the show is politics. It is about an underfunded school in one of the lowest income big cities in the country, I think the most low income big city, with a predominantly female group, predominantly Black female group, and their teachers, and it's in a dangerous neighborhood. Like, these are the politics we are the politics everyone's always talking about. So we really just get to focus on the little uphill battles they have to just make it each day. And we get to focus on those situational, the situational comedic moments. And then we wind up touching way larger subjects. Last year when we did the charter school storyline, I remember like the New Yorker wrote about that. I was like, why is the New Yorker writing about? Because to us, it was not a big deal. We just wanted to make a compelling, that it just naturally came out in the room of like, oh yeah, this could be the big bad down the street. We were writing it like, oh snap. And then Barbara and Draymond, it's going to be like Luke Skywalker. And like, we're writing it like just a fun comic.
And then the New Yorker's like, this is the most important commentary we've ever seen.
And then we got attacked by Republicans. And we were just like, we just want to make our little comedy.
Yeah.
They were so mad. They were like, hey, fuck you, Quinta. You think charter schools suck? I was like, I just wanted to make
it's just good storytelling.
Comedy. Yeah.
But do you think charter schools suck? Everyone really, it's a very well. The answer you gave is really the one that I was hoping you would give, because I think that again, like what I love about the way you've set up the show is it just sidesteps any of those expectations, right? Yeah. Where it's on a level, you're talking about an underfunded school, you're talking about teachers who are severely underpaid, and that is kind of a national thing. But because you're focusing on these amazing characters, because you've kind of focused on a sensibility, and I think like, I'm curious what about your path has allowed you to hone in on knowing what would work so well on network TV, but also kind of work for the younger generation. Because I think there was this gap between what network TV was and what our generation was into. And then there's also now at this point, like, I feel like we're getting older and there's a generation under us that still connects with Abbott, right? Yeah. And so there's something you kind of pick up on the sensibility. I kind of attribute it to that, you just killed it on the internet and then like knew how to hack network TV and kind of put it up there.
Maybe.
But to even tie to what we were just talking about, it's like you sidestep any expectations that someone would have of you to focus on like the grit of Philly or something like that, or get into like anything that feels like it's needing to put these characters, in certain storylines that we might see in other shows, and kind of focus on making something that, again, just hits with everyone and then still feels important.
You just answered it for me. That was really good.
Well, like, no, but I kind of I could ask something else if you want.
No, that was good. Well, I was going to say it's the same thing that I think you've done really well. It's different, but I don't think that anyone in the generation before you would have made the show Ramy. You were able to make that because of your position in the place and time that it happened, and you put, especially your last season, one of the most daring seasons of television I've ever seen in my life on TV. Would the people older than you have done that? No. I don't think the kids under you would have done that either. I think they would have been too scared. I think we just came at the right time
right
to the big puzzle piece that is making things. And I don't know. I have a love of network TV. I don't think it's bad. my biggest influences are network television. I still watch network TV. When a new network show comes out, I'm in front of the couch hoping that it's good and often being disappointed. But I want it to be good. But it's also because I just think people who don't love it are making it now. And that didn't used to be the case. And I think people who really genuinely love it should make it, not for money, but because they love the art. We talked about this. You got to meet Norman Lear, but I was going to meet him the week, after he had passed away. That to me was like, that was my godfather dying. And I realized how it just made me think about how much I just love the art form. And I just think that people who love the thing should be making the thing. And that's what makes it better. Yeah, thanks.
Well, and I think you would have loved, I only got to sit with Norman once but it was just his curiosity and his energy was amazing. He'd see me do stand up and he was like,
stop bragging.
No, but it was that was the context in which it happened. And then and this was before I'd even had a show and he was really lit up, and he's just like, oh my God, you got to explore that. You got to do that. And I think that, again, thinking about how you started, you could have just said, oh, let me do what I'm doing online. I mean, I know many of, and this isn't the case for everybody, but so many of the people on streaming will just kind of laugh and be like, if we ran YouTube channels and if we wanted to make money, that's where the money is. It's not necessarily in doing this. We're doing this because we love it. And it was always very impressive to me that, you have this really solid base online and you're building, what you're doing. And then you're also, I got to be doing stand up. And then all the other stand-ups kind of being like, whoa, wait, why is she able to do this? Almost kind of thrown off guard that you kind of have that appetite for every part of it. And again, it's because you love it. Yeah,
and because I love every part of comedy.
Yeah.
I took a clown class just because I wanted to know what it was like. Because I
always wanted to do that.
You should take one. I'm
really
so serious.
to.
It teaches you so much. It teaches you how to be quiet. It teaches you how to be physical. It's one of the best things. I did a puppeteering class, which was fun. And I just think it's fun. That's why I still like going to see stand up, because I'm excited to see how people can do stand up now.
Yeah.
You still do it, and it amazes me because I don't have the bones to storytell in that way anymore, and you do. And I like watching people find a way. Have you ever seen Sabrina Wu?
Yeah.
Sabrina Wu.
So good.
They're so funny, and they're talking about being trans and Asian and stuff that would have got you killed years ago. And they're killing it and making swords of people laugh at JFL. Yeah. And I was just like, see, this is the future, and I like watching them work because it's really exciting to see. But I don't know. I'm so tired because I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Thank you. No one makes space for tiredness. You have a question? Oh, you just want to say hi? Okay. It's not a question and answer for you, my D. It's just for Ramy. Go ahead.
Season 3.
Season 3.
So we talked about the season 1, season 2. What does it look like going into a season 3 for you?
So excited about season 3.
Season 3 is fun.
It's so fun. You liked your season 3?
Season 3, you're kind of like, I think we figured it out, kind of.
Yeah, I felt like this going in. I'm really excited about season 3 because we are forced to be creative in a way that we hadn't been before because of the strikes, the SAG and WGA strikes.
Yeah.
So we had to come back to the show in an interesting way because our show goes by the school year calendar. And I didn't want to abandon that. So we're premiering in February, and we had to find a creative way to say why we have not been around since then. So I'm excited for you guys to see that. But that alone, we had to come out the gate being on our toes and creative.
Just doing something different.
Yeah, and that felt so good. And last season we had 22. It felt easy to get comfortable.
Yeah.
Which was fine. I think it was nice to be comfortable with an audience for once. Like, come, take your shoes off. We're going to have a good time. Nothing bad's going to happen here. We're going to just, settle. But now we have 14, and I wanted each episode to pack a punch. That's a short amount of time. So I feel right now that every episode packs a punch.
Yeah.
Without even trying, we wound up having like a murderer's row of guest stars. When I was on the way here to go to SNL to watch Io, I was going through like all of our casting, and I'm like, holy shit, we have people in here who are, if I was a kid and you would have told me this person was on my show, I would have passed out. I just wouldn't have believed it. And it feels,
now you're like,
organic.
He costs how much?
Yes.
Yeah, come on. I'm helping him.
That part. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I'm just talking about the dream right now, Ramy, not the nightmare. I will say season 3 is kicking my ass though. Like I am, because we're on just overdrive because we started late and we're still premiering. We premiere while we film. So we're filming the 7th episode now and then premiering the what do you call it? What's it called?
The premiere?
Premiere, sorry. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
I am. So, thank you. What a nice room of people. But season 3 just feels a little bit edgier and fun. I have been loving every single thing we've done. I'm so excited for everyone to see it. And I'm excited for the show to be back. The show feels like my best way of communicating with people. And I miss that because I think it is the best thing I can do is give art to the world to be able to feel good. And, I think we talked about that during the strikes. We were kind of just like doing little, here and there projects, but it was kind of hard for me to be away from what I really like to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember we were doing that loop outside of WB.
You were.
Shout out to everyone here who we did it.
Yes, we did it.
Shout out to
we did it.
To sticking through with it.
We stuck through.
I'll ask you one more question because I think they did this.
Oh, okay.
The little tornado.
Got it.
As you go through the show, now you're getting into this third season, this batch of episodes. How you're bringing in more family members and I'm curious as you kind of go outside the extended world of the show, how much of it reflects your own personal stuff, because and I always hate when I get this question, so I'm gonna give you. I
thought you were about to pitch yourself. That's what I thought you were about. I did.
Oh, that's.
No, I think you were, but that would have been crazy.
No, I would only do that privately. And I have.
And he has. And then we tried to get him, and then he became super famous because he was in an Oscar film.
No, it's not.
Oscar nominated this year.
I desperately wanted to. But because for me, like the more we did it, the more I realized, and obviously my show's different in the sense that it quite literally an alter ego of mine. But what are you pulling from? How many people that are around you are like, oh shit, like that's from us?
I would say, a lot of the dating stuff pulled in this season is definitely pulled from experiences of me and my friends when we were younger. There's a lot of dating going on and in this season, and it's definitely getting pulled from the people around me because I just think dating is fun and horrible, and it's fun stuff to show. My mom, she has straight up called me and been like, "So you just gonna put that whole story in your show?" But I don't even realize it. I observed so much when I was younger of her life that I don't even. The Step Show episode was totally based on her. She was like, wow. She doesn't curse, but she's like, what the heck? Like what? And I was like, I'm so sorry, Mom, because she would run an after school dance club for the kids. I was in it. And I was like, well, yeah, that came from you. But season 3, I don't it's a lot of the dating stuff this season that's pulled from real life. And, and honestly, I don't mean to, but I do pull a lot of Cheryl into Barbara.
Yeah.
I do. I don't mean to, but she's so funny.
Yeah.
Like Cheryl on her own is so funny.
Yes.
She enunciates every word, and so we wind up making Barbara enunciate every word.
So funny.
And she'll read the script and go, "Quinta, how dare you?" And I was like, because that's what you do. We can't help it.
But she's an all-time, I mean, just
she is
all-time character, legendary.
I can't help it, but that's been happening a lot. I've been around my cast too much, and so
that is one of the most fun parts, though. Is for me, definitely by season 3, I was like, I know how every single word's gonna sound coming out of your mouth, and like I'm now writing lines that I never would have written before, because of you. Like, you know, like Amr Wecker, who plays my dad. There are lines that I would never give to somebody else.
Yeah,
and I just know he's gonna say a certain word funny.
That's how I feel with all of them. Janelle, Tyler, Lisa, literally the whole cast, and now we have Stan, who plays Mr. Johnson, just saying the wildest crap in the world. Yeah. Because we just want to hear his raspy voice say it. We just want to hear it. And it's always so funny. And Stan's like, "Why y'all making me say this?" I'm like, because of that voice. It's so funny. He's a full-blown conspiracy theorist now on the show. So that's been fun. I don't know what else to say. I think.
Well, look, she does it all, and she does it all with such humility and grace and talent. Please give it up for Quinta Brunson.
Thank you, Ramy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Give it up for Ramy, too, guys, please. Thank you. They should.